Welcome, welcome, guys, to my Love Island USA Season 5, Episode 28 recap. Movie night continues. Massive dumping, red wedding style. We are back, guys. This episode, lots of producer manipulation, guys. Lots of producer manipulation. We continue with the movie night, and I find it funny that we continued with movie night with Mean Girls movie starring Hannah and Carmen. Talking about Cassie saying things like Leo is too good for her. Why couldn't we see this yesterday, guys? Maybe it's because they were protecting their favorite too. Welcome, Divine Me. Welcome back. Welcome back, Charlene. Welcome back, TA. Whoa, we left on a cliffhanger, guys. Uh, so, Carmen does backtrack. Hey, Prishay, how are you? Carmen does backtrack what she said. But Hannah stands by what she said. She's like, at the time, I was closer to Leo. And so I felt what I felt. So I will say I appreciate Hannah for at least standing by her words. I love our group in here. So do I, Divine Me. I love our chit chats. Um, Good atmosphere. I try to keep it that way. Uh, Cassie seems to take it well, though. I thought she took what she saw on the screen well, but after what Leo did to her. So next is the never-ending video story. Why they chose this? I'm pretty sure the producers told Bergie, you have to choose that one. And so it is the video that got sent to the girls in Casa Amor, plus the aftermath of KK falling to her knees. I will say that Keenan at least had the ashamed face that he should have, because he should have been ashamed for what he put her through. And then we have the boner collector. And we knew exactly who that was going to be. That was absolutely going to be Keenan, and it was. Every time he got a boner, Naja. And everyone is just really embarrassed for that guy. He really embarrassed himself. He embarrassed KK. It was just a shame, guys. And KK's like basically speechless at this point. And I think she's speechless because at this point she's already agreed to forgive him. And what is she supposed to say? He's already done embarrassed her enough. And that's it. Movie night's over. And I'm like, y'all couldn't show this yesterday? I think y'all didn't want to show this because y'all wanted to protect Hannah and Carmen in the vote. Got it. So yeah, K sits down with the girls. The guys sit down with the guys. And she's literally speechless. So she's like, I can't even at this point. TA says the movie night was cringy. It was gross. These are some of the grossest little boys I've ever come into contact with. Oh, I just, ugh, I can't, guys, I can't. But Hannah does apologize to Cassie. She does tell her she's sorry. And while she felt that way in the moment, um, she doesn't feel that way now. She told her that. And so she's like, no, it's okay. You know, I agree that you did tell me that. So No big deal. Leo is shook. He's like, I think it was either him or Marco said it was hard to watch. I said, how do you think we feel? We've had to watch it multiple times now. Crochet said I covered my ears on the Keenan part. Ugh. Johnny, Divine Me says Johnny is so annoying. You know, the thing is, she doesn't even annoy me as much as like I just have indifference to her, which is sad. I don't want to have indifference to Johnny. Beautiful girl. I think she really did think that she found a Prince Charming, and that was mostly Leo's fault. But I don't know. Welcome to Love Island, as he said. Leo looked like a deer in headlights. Absolutely, he did. Cassie and Johnny talk, and they sit down, and Johnny's just so confused. He said, Leo made it seem like my connection with him was way more than your connection with him. He did do that. Um, and so this is like just a blind side for me. And Cassie's like, it, you know, it is for her too. And it's funny because he made it seem like even though they had sex, everything was insignificant to him when it came to Johnny. And so they're both realizing he's playing both sides. And Cassie's just expressed a couple times she doesn't want to continue in this. She wants to just focus on Mattia and give Mattia her all. Mattia and Cassie do speak, and she tells him, I'm going to focus on you. And she ITMs that all of that she saw that Leo did, it basically gave, like, it just, all her feelings just went away. And I said that, and that's the one thing I think was missing from the videos that we saw with KK and Keenan. They showed a lot of the words that Leo was saying about Cassie to um, Johnny. They haven't showed the words that Keenan was saying about KK to KK. They just showed his actions, not his words. And it's easier, I think, to gloss over a lot of his actions than to gloss over his words. Then we have a conversation, to me, that was weird between Destiny and Zay. And Zay says Destiny was concentrating on other couples since they came into the villa. They haven't been able to grow their relationship, and that she shouldn't have gotten in the middle of Mike and Hannah's conversation, and she wasn't on the screen, so why was she even involving herself? And I'm like, okay, here's his immaturity. Like, his age was literally showing here, because it is not as simple as and black and white the way he's trying to make it seem. First of all, where's this that Destiny has been concerned only about other couples? Because she was there for KK when KK needed her? Or do you not give a fuck about KK? That's good to know, Zay. Like, so you don't give a damn. Good to know. Good to know. Unfortunately for you, Destiny and KK have two of the closest bonds in the villa, so she cares. She cares a lot. So she wanted to be there for her friend. And she's the only one that, regardless of what's happening between KK and Keenan, she's the only one that's literally there for KK. Charlene says, what was that between Zay and Destiny? I'm going to say this. That conversation with Zay, the conversation with Colin and Imani, these men are playing games. They use these people to get into the villa, because even Zay's mother was on Twitter, or not Twitter, Instagram or something, talking about, oh, Zay's gonna move on because because she's not mature enough. Um, Nobody's coming in here for your son. His ass will get dumped. it will get dumped. But these guys think that they got more time or something, that they can switch to Hannah O or switch to Johnny because they're single. So they can switch up on Destiny because based on his Twitter and Instagram activity, I don't know if he necessarily likes black women. So he got into the villa and he's using every excuse to come up with to try to get either Destiny to dump him or him to dump Destiny. Same thing with Kyle. All of a sudden, Kyle's talking about Imani switched up on him. When? When? Charlene says that one had me confused. Yeah, and everybody's blaming Destiny, but nobody's seeing that Zay switched up on her out of nowhere. She was right. You're bringing in one situation, you're concerned about other couples, you're involving yourself with other couples, and then he's tried to slide in there, and you're involving yourself into Mike and Hannah's conversation and want to let her explain. Divine Me says most of the men give bad advice to each other and they're immature. Absolutely. TA says Zay's true colors really showed in the conversation with Destiny. I agree. Charlene says, right, I felt the same way about these Casa men. They saw tonight that, didn't they? Yeah, they showed themselves tonight. None of them were serious. Maybe Mattia. But even he showed himself a couple days ago, because why couldn't you just give Cassie a moment? Why is it you are Casa boys? Do you guys not know what that means? No, you don't get to come in here and wait for a bombshell and wait to switch up and wait to get to build your own connection with somebody else. That is not how this works. You get with an OG woman, then you have to stay with her and invest in that relationship, or you will get dumped. Because I will make sure you get dumped myself. How dare you? All of them were playing. All these men are playing games, playing in these women's faces. Kyle was there trying to use microaggressions against Imani. She's sitting there nicely and calmly, like saying to him, "What are you talking about? My energy was the same. You're the one switching it up. You're the one. You ain't making me coffee. You got all of a sudden you're invested in me. You're just hanging with the boys. Like, you're the one who switched up, not me." They think they can play in these women's faces, especially these black women, and that America is going to keep them in the villa. You will get dumped. Remember that. This is not that show. Sure did. I hope Mike and Zay like their placement tonight. They might just go home. Divine Me says maybe because they were called VIPs. Maybe they didn't realize that meant that they were Casa boys, because that's what they were. And Destiny just gets upset, and she just is like, you know what? You obviously don't want to hear what I have to say, so I don't care anymore. Taya says, yes, all of the Casa boys are arrogant and self-centered. Yeah, all switched up. And of course, who they're blaming? They're blaming Destiny for not allowing Zay and Mike to play in her face. Mike, she is entirely right. Mike should have had a private conversation with her and said, you know what? I still like you. I still want to be with you. But I did do something with Hannah O in bed. Just as an FYI to you. But I still want to get to know you. If you can't get over that, I understand. We'll figure something out. And then she could have yelled at him in private, like, well, how much? What did you do? Are you going to tell me? Do I have to ask her? And they could have gotten that out all in the open. And then she could have decided whether or not she wanted to continue getting to know him. But instead, he evaded all of that and had it got shown on movie night when everybody in that villa was clear that he still wanted to get to know Destiny. And that he practically, and according to Hannah he practically dumped her for Destiny. So how was that not embarrassing to Destiny? Even if her ass wasn't on the screen. That's not what that was about. And I understand what Zay's trying to say. Oh, well, why does it matter if you're invested in us? But it does matter because she's a person with feelings. And regardless of whether or not those feelings were going to develop in anything, she had feelings that she needed to process and she wanted answers for. Every right. Just like you want to confront her about stuff that you feel like she did, she wanted to make sure to understand where she and a prior connection was at, because this is what Love Island is. Rachel says, producers literally put the clip of Destiny reacting, and some of these islanders and fans are so dense. They're absolutely dense. Divine Me says Mike and Zay can go home and take Hannah and Taylor with them, because I think Taylor isn't into Bergie. Is it Monty though? All right. Enough ranting and raving. Jonah and Taylor talk, and I knew we were about to get some bullshit, but we got some real bullshit tonight. Because what? First of all, we don't care. Second of all, exclusive where? Exclusive your ways out the damn villa. What? Bye, see ya. Are you kidding me? Exclusive after 2 days, guys? And he's not playing a game? This man's not playing a game? Remember, he could not commit to Destiny. He had to get to know everybody else. But a Taylor walks in, blonde, blue-eyed Taylor, and all of a sudden he's exclusive after 2 days, guys. Why isn't Jonah in the bottom, guys? I didn't vote for him. Who voted for him? He's playing in y'all faces. Don't let him do that again. That's crazy. And y'all want to get upset at Destiny. The man was playing with her and using her. The minute that Imani came in the villa, he did everything to dump her. And then the minute that Imani went away, he found a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman to get exclusive with after 2 days, when he said he could not commit 2 days prior to that. Come on, guys. Come on. Don't let these people play in your face. They trying to play in our girl's face. I ain't allowing it. This is crazy. So yeah, now they're exclusive. They can go home. Johnny and Leo talk, and he's just like, listen, I ain't getting over Cassie. And so we're over. And she's like, she's embarrassed and she's done with him. And I was like, I think he basically already told you he was done with you, but okay. And so, like I said, I want to feel bad for Johnny, but I really can't. So I'm just like indifferent to her. She was upset, and listen, she has every right to be upset. Then we get a conversation with Kanan and KK, and she is thoroughly like, listen, you were getting jacked off by that girl. You didn't tell me that. Oh, I tried to tell. We all know that he tried to make sure before movie night that she got that information. That's why he pulled her up on the terrace, right? Yeah. And instead, he still slightly blindsided her. I've explained everything. I don't understand why you're still upset. I tried to tell you. That's what I tried to tell you before. Okay, Keenan. Stop gaslighting KK on this bullshit that you've done. But KK's like, listen, I'm working on forgiving him, and he's telling me everything I want to hear. And they hug. And I'm just like, listen, KK's got to pull herself out of this. I can't help her. She want him. She want him. I can't help her. Divine Me says that that's the thing. Everybody's coming for Destiny, but I'm sure she can read all the men, and that's why producers are mad, giving Destiny the bad edits. Oh, absolutely. Every time Ian talks about Destiny when he's making little quips, you notice it's all nasty. Everybody's listening to that. You people don't think that you hear that, and it's framing what you're supposed to be thinking about her when you're entering the scene. Yep. Crochet says, I just don't understand how they see clips of how they're treated and the OG girls and expect anything different. I don't know. Listen, Johnny swore she was going to be different. Leo and Cassie talk, and he says he can't get over her. And she basically says, I'm concentrating on Mattia. And I'm like, okay, I'll believe all of this when I see it. But I do notice, and this is my whole thing with Keenan and KK. The reason why I'm not going to be upset at them is because I notice everybody is still invested in Leo and Cassie getting together, and I feel like he did worse. But have something to say about Keenan and KK staying together. And to me, Leo did worse. But y'all is still pushing Leo and Cassie together. Y'all hyping him up that he gave her a Coke. Can we not? Can we not? I don't know. So while they're talking, KK basically comforts Johnny. She's like, look at him now. He's talking to Cassie. I feel so stupid. I can't stand him. And yeah, all valid things. All valid things. KK and Mattia talk, and she said, I think I love him towards Keenan. He's like, did you tell him? She's like, no. Zay and Destiny, he's decided he's going to sleep on the couches, which fine, but he also doesn't tell her. TA says Ian so far all season with the microaggressions comments against Destiny. Absolutely. All season. Destiny tries to talk to him. He gets upset at her for even attempting to talk to him. And so remember that, guys. Remember, y'all was like, oh, Destiny never wants to sit down and have a conversation with this guy. She did try to talk to him. He pretended he was half asleep. So then Destiny went to sleep outside and contemplated, like, why am I here? Because these guys keep playing in my face. And I don't blame her, because they are trying to play in her face. Every single one of them. Get better men. So this is next morning we get the Imani and Kyle conversation. And again, another man trying to play in these women's faces. And so Imani's like, they're done. I was like, damn, their chemistry went away quick when you sit there and see how he just is just ew. Like they had so much chemistry coming into this, and now it's like the way he talked to her, the way he was barely listening to her, slumped down in his chair, glasses on, not paying attention to her. Like, are you serious? Did you even like her at all? Or you was just trying to get into Villa? And if you're trying to get into the Villa, what did you think you were going to do? What did you think was going to happen? I need people to understand, if you are a Casa boy or Casa girl, you're not coming into the Villa to find another love of your life. You're coming into the Villa to grow and strengthen the relationship with the person that you found, usually an OG girl or a bombshell girl, that came into Casa for you. Not going into the Villa to try to make your own connections and dump the OG girl or the bombshell girl that you came into the Villa with. You will get dumped. That's not how this show works. Charlene says, yeah, what happened? Yep, trying to get, that's all they were doing. They were all lying and trying to get in the Villa. This is why everybody's like, oh, KK should have brought somebody back. For what? So he could use her, do the same thing, complicate her feelings with Keenan, talking about, oh, you're still into him and he did this to you and I'm gonna go and look after another girl. That's what you came in here to do anyway. You knew you weren't staying with KK. No, she left that boy right in the villa where he belonged, in the Casa Amor where he belonged. Period. Um, Keenan and Leo talk, and he decides he wants to do a gesture for Cassie. This is where he gets her Coke and has KK help him write something on the mirror in her lipstick and leaves the Coke for her. And I'm like, how long the Coke was there? Because did it get flat? Does she like flat Coke? I don't know. Anyway, she comes up and sees it and thinks it's kind of cute and blah, blah, blah. Um, and again, nobody seems to have a problem with the fact that he did that. It was all like, ooh, what are you gonna do? Mattia made you coffee. And and what are you gonna do with him giving you a Coke that's your favorite Coke? I'm like, well, does Mattia even know that that's her favorite drink? Did they cover that? I mean, could be his fault for not asking her. Next, we got this convoluted conversation between Imani and Berkey that I was just like, I am taking no notes on this except for the fact that she made him pancakes, and I'm dying laughing. Anyway, she expressed that she's still interested in Bergie, and listen, she might get her chance because Taylor got sent to the bottom of the list, and yeah, nobody seems to believe in Taylor for Bergie, so he seems complicated. He seems confused and like where it's coming from. And I said, same, Bergie, same. Um, Hannah and Marco talk and they decide that they're going to like go and try to get some sexy time in while everybody's outside. So they're going to go into the bedrooms. And Bergie interrupts them because he just has to talk about what happened with him and Imani. And yeah, that was very funny scene. It was cute, but it was also funny. So he's like, "Should I put a sock on the door?" They're like, "No, just keep watch on the couches." So they go at it. Very funny stuff. Anyway, um, Taylor and Bergie talk, and he tells her about Imani. He does say that he was over the Imani situation as soon as it didn't happen, so he wasn't into it then. He's really into Taylor, and Taylor's like, "Oh, like it's good, it's all good. Sit down, figure out your feelings, and then come back to me. Don't just cut things off." And I mean, fair point. Like, what if he thought about it the next day and was like, you know what, I do kind of like Imani. Maybe I shouldn't have did it that way. Whatever. Leo and Cassie talk, and it's just another circular conversation. And I think he thought the Coke was gonna do something for him. I don't know. Anyway, Johnny sees the message on the mirror, and she's like crying, laughing, and she's like, he's a terrible person. And Cassie does say that Johnny told her that he's only pursuing her because Johnny ended things with him. And he's like, "Do you believe that?" And she's like, "No, because we did have a connection, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it." Um, so then Cassie gets a text, and nobody's safe. America's been voting. It's going to be a dumping, red wedding style. And I actually have to say, I actually kind of like this thing. I like that they were all wearing red and black. I like that there's like a massive dumping because literally we get a massive dumping. And I did like the thought process of this dumping. So Sarah Hyland does walk into the villa and everybody's in black and white, black and red. And she does tell them they're like, oh, she's so upset. She's usually so can't wait to see us. And it's like, yes, because the theme is Red Wedding. It's supposed to be serious. Come on, guys. Play. Play. Come on. Yeah. So she just tell them the four girls that are vulnerable and the four boys that are vulnerable. And in no particular order, the four girls vulnerable are Johnny, Taylor C, Hannah O, and Taylor S. So pretty much all the Casa girls. And the four boys that are in the bottom and vulnerable: Leo, Mike, Zay, and of course, Keenan. And Sarah does say half will go home. There are 8 up there, half will go home. And she does say the girl with the fewest votes that will be immediately dumped is Hannah O, which I was shocked. I wasn't shocked. I pretty much figured that one. And then we leave on a cliffhanger, guys, of the boy who is the boy with the fewest votes. So, guys, woo! This cliffhanger, because there's literally 2 OG boys there and 2 of Destiny's connections. We might have did just a little too well last night, the other night, just a little too well. Appreciate says, can we appreciate how much better Sarah is looking this season? Listen, they doing her thing this season. I don't know if it's Fiji, I don't know what, but they doing a good job. Charlene agrees, Sarah does look better. Rachel says, I am so happy with the bottom 4 boys. Yeah, I mean, I could have switched maybe Jonah and Mike, maybe. I don't like him either, so. People are fuming that KK and Destiny were saved, and all I can do is laugh. I will never abandon my sisters when it comes to the vote. Period, because that's who I voted for. I told you guys when I saw even in my comments, these people are coming in my comments talking about, oh, KK needs to be dumped. I was like, okay, I'm gonna vote for her. I was gonna vote for Imani. But I made sure to vote for my KK. Thank you. Shawnee says, I think Zay or Mike will leave with an OG. But which OG? Yeah. I don't like the voting, but I understand it. If we said Keenan and Leah home, who is going to entertain us? Fair. I definitely think I think it could be Zay, because I don't know anybody who voted for Zay. And I don't think his mama and her little comments were helping him in any way, shape, or form. And his social media activity. And again, I kept saying, I didn't see the connection between her and Zay in the first place. I didn't see their chemistry, but I think a lot of people did see her chemistry with Mike. And I mean, really and truly, Leo, Mike, and Keenan all did the same thing, except for Leo went further. And so Zay, I just think, again, it was like we went hard for Destiny, but we didn't give her a connection to go hard for. So it's like, so I think it could be Zay and maybe Leo. I think Zay will automatically be dumped, and the Islanders may dump Mike since Hannah O is leaving. Divine Me thinks that Zay was producer's choice. I think it's a fair point. Do we think that Destiny will go back to Mike if Zay is dumped? I didn't see any chemistry between Zay and Destiny. He was really chill. That's what I'm saying. I think that's what it was. I don't think people saw any connection between her and Zay, but while we saw the connection between her and Mike, he was sitting there getting jacked off by Hannah O. So it's like, hmm, like is like I feel like that's just like a slap on the pan, like they gave him and they gave Keenan, because they're the ones that did the dirtiest in Casa. Crochet says 100% she will. I think it's possible. I'm telling you, that's been, to me, her strongest connections this season have been Harrison, who, in my opinion, based on his exit interview, um, I don't think he really liked her like that, and and Mike. And Mike. And I do think Mike liked her. I just think that he's a young idiot, just like the rest of them. TA says, I think Destiny will go back to Mike if Zay is not. Rachel says that I do not know if Destiny will go back. Mike was super defensive during movie night. I think she mentioned tonight that the door was closed. Yeah, I mean, she mentioned the other day to Zay that she thought the door was closed, but again, she has a lot of feelings towards Mike, and that's why I'm saying that I I think it's more than the way she was trying to portray. I think she was just embarrassed. It was embarrassing to her. Because even KK said you had unfinished business with Mike. Do I still think they have unfinished business? I don't know if they've had a conversation. Divine Me says no. Destiny will not go back. I think after what he did with Hannah, I don't see her going back. Crochet says actually I'm I take that back. I'm 50-50. Yeah, I'm 50-50 on it too. Might be better to dump Mike and Zay and then hope somebody comes in for her. Hmm. Could we get a last minute bombshell for Destiny? Or will she get to know Kyle? Do I want her to get to know Kyle? No. I hope that Taylor C gets dumped and Jonah goes with her. All right, guys. Listen, we'll be back tomorrow. Yes. New bombshells for Destiny and Monty. Yeah, because these guys, these ain't it. These ain't it. Like, you have two microbiologists in the villa and you sent in knuckleheads that don't like black women? Destiny doesn't like her stuff being used. Fair point, Divine Me. Fair point. Charlene agrees. New bombshells for Destiny and Imani. All right, guys. Or do we think that Destiny will self-evict like Anna? I don't know. I just want good things for my girl. I think that she just deserves so much better than this villa has been throwing at her. They would, like, if they had brought in a guy who was serious, and like they would have but I don't think they want a black woman to win this season. So you see who they're pushing. And the Scottsdale scammers are still there, guys. I bet you that Carmen and Kenzo will be there till the end. They will do everything to protect them. And I told that to somebody else. Like, they will do anything to protect them. All right, guys, 11 o'clock. I will see you guys tomorrow. As always, like and subscribe this channel. And, in the comments down below, let us know who you think is going home. Which OG boy or Mike and Zay is going home immediately, and then who will the Islanders send home after that? And then what girl do you guys think that they're going to send home after that? I have a feeling that they will absolutely send home Johnny. Because the other two, I do think everybody else believes in their connection. So, Thank you, TA. Yes, fun as always. So hopefully you guys are like, why is she ranting today? I was so annoyed by this episode because I was like, these men are playing. These guys have been playing in people's faces this week. Woo! At least wait a couple days, a week to play in people's faces. See you tomorrow. Mind me. Charlene says Leon say. Johnny, yep, I agree, Johnny. Thanks, Rachel. All right, guys. See you tomorrow.